So we got two pieces of Transformer news we're going to talk about today. A bit of an update that we're going to be talking about in relation to what's been going on with that Hasbro Mattel collaboration, specifically the Hot Wheels stuff. We finally have some visuals, and we have some Transformers Hot Wheels collaboration product that we didn't really expect to go in that route, especially in the fingerboard route. So Transformers actually has a very funky history when it comes to fingerboards because it was a big craze that happened in the late 90s and the early 2000s, and probably the biggest one to be known out of all of them was Tech Deck. And around like 2006 to 2009, there was the Tech Deck Dudes line, which was a lot of parody figures with these fingerboards, and they did a whole bunch of Transformer related ones, unlicensed of course. So you ended up with a whole bunch of them that looked like Optimus Prime, Megatron, Devastator, Hot Rod, Ultra Magnus. There was a Grimlock one. There was a repaint of the Optimus one into a Nemesis Prime. That went on for like 3 years. And that was kind of like the first time we really saw like fingerboard stuff with a little bit of a Transformer flair to it. It wasn't until 2008 when Hasbro licensed out the Transformer brand to Imperial Toys. Imperial Toys up to that point was actually like a low quality bootleg company that actually was making bootleg Transformers for almost 2 decades. But, you know, they moved up the food chain. They started doing more, you know, low quality dollar store and, you know, I guess we'll call it Market 6 items. And they got the license from Hasbro to do some Transformer stuff because they were going to do their own versions of tech decks and fingerboards and stuff like that. And because it was that huge fingerboard craze that was coming out of the early 2000s, they figured, well, we're going to make our own and we're going to use the Transformer license. And we got a few of them. They were pretty cool. We had like a whole bunch of different ways they were released through blister packs, deluxe packs. They did a play set with a half pipe, and they featured Dreamwave art and early IDW promotional art, obviously stuff that was provided by Hasbro to the licensors and stuff, and you got a whole bunch of them there. So it's not the first time we've had official Transformer fingerboards brandishing the art on the back of the deck. But now we have these ones here. These are official images, stock images. They come courtesy of a website in Peru that leaked these out early. And these are the Transformers Hot Wheels Skate collaboration. You know, it's part of the big collaboration, like I said before, with Mattel and Hasbro. We already got the Barbie Monopoly. We got the Transformers Uno. And now we have these. The Hot Wheels Skate subline is something that they kicked off early last year in 2022 and even like 2023 a little bit, but more so in early 2022. And it uses the same idea with the tech deck stuff. You know, have a skateboard with a metallic deck, and then you have the customizable swap out pieces that could be done on it. And then you have 2 little shoes that have magnets on it that you could then stick to the board and have fun doing your little fingerboard stuff. And that's pretty much what the Hot Wheels skate line is. They've already done collaborations with other media franchises. They did Marvel ones, they did Ninja Turtles, as well as many others, and now it's time for Transformers. So we have our first images here. So far we only got Decepticons. We have a Megatron, we got a Starscream, and we got a Soundwave. So they're obviously pulling from the Legendary 7, which is always suggested to licensees. But no doubt we'll probably see Autobots and Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Grimlock, and maybe even a Devastator at some point to finish out that 7. And then if this has legs and sells well, maybe they'll do other characters outside of that. You know, we'll see maybe others. But they look okay. I mean, I think that the Soundwave is on point, has good art, and the shoes kind of match the Soundwave vibe. But the Megatron and the Starscream, I don't know if that's a hit and a miss, because like the Megatron with pink shoes and the Starscream with the light blue. I mean, the Starscream should have had like red, white, and blues done in, or the grays done in Starscream's colors, and the Megatron, same thing. You could do like primary gray and then a little bit of red to represent the inside of his legs and blue for the buttons on his chest. But whatever, it is what it is. These are out right now in Peru anyways, from what it seems, in pre-orders. Judging with the exchange currency, it comes to about $8 to $9, but that can't 100% be what our MSRP will be for these here, so stay tuned for that for pricing. We don't know much else yet outside of that. But this is the first time we see this Hot Wheels collaboration, and this is very different than the listings that we talked about a few weeks ago. It seems that the Hot Wheels skate items are very different in terms of product code from the product codes and the listings that we saw online. So definitely this is one part of many part of Hot Wheels Transformer collaboration stuff we'll see, because the listings that we got before were part of a case assortment of a Transformer mix of 1x64 scale Hot Wheels cars in a 24-piece case, which lines up completely with how Hot Wheels 1x64 scale die-cast is. And that case content, had that 32 Ford, the Morris Mini, the 60s Fiat 500D, the 1967 Austin minivan, and the Volkswagen Classic Bug. You could probably figure out, what they're going to turn some of those into, but obviously we've also speculated that a lot of those will probably just be done like how they've done a lot of their licenses, where they just kind of slap the art of the character on the side of the vehicle and then call it a day. Maybe the Volkswagen Beetle one will be a little more on point, but the other one's probably not so much. It's like I've said before, take a bread truck. It totally makes sense to put Marvel's Black Widow on the side, or a Dairy Econoline van, and somehow Super Mario works with that. So I imagine they're probably going to do something more like that. But again, simple, throw on that licensed stock art that is provided to them, and then it makes it easy for them to put out a product. We'll see what happens with all of this, but this is at least the first images we have of this collaboration. Hey, if you're into the tech deck stuff, you got more now for your collection of the Transformer flavor. The other thing we want to talk about is we finally kinda got our first look of at least a confirmation that it does exist and it is a thing, of the Walmart exclusive Transformers Legacy United Star Raiders Deluxe Class Road Pig. It indeed does exist. We just will probably maybe see it in the near future. Hasbro's designer Mark posted on his Instagram a bunch of nice photos of the assortments that we got to see thus far from that Star Raiders, with the Cannonball, the Filch, the Ferrec, the Lockdown. But Mark also showed us, hey, the Lockdown, if you want to make it more true to how most of those old animated Lockdown toys were, you want to make them tall with those long legs. Well, since she's a Junkion modulator, and you could pretty much do that with that mold, you could extend his legs with extra pieces. Except the pieces that he used, I guess it was probably a purposeful Easter egg, was he used Deluxe Crash Bar's arms that make that extension, but not just Crash Bar's arms in red, which doesn't exist unless there's a new figure that's going to have those arms in red, those molds in red. And we do have that Road Pig that's scheduled to be part of the Star Raiders assortment as a deluxe class. And we've already kind of assumed, I guess, Crash Bar would probably be a good fit for that character if they share the mold. And again, Road Pig has red forearms, so it looks like we're kind of, in a small way, getting our first look, even if it's just the forearms, of Crash Bar here. So maybe during the next Hasbro Pulse fan stream that we're going to be getting Thursday coming up, they did say they're going to be talking about Studio Series and some Legacy United stuff. Probably more so on the Legacy United, judging by what BMAC said. But maybe we'll also get our first look here of the Deluxe Class Road Pig and the Leader Class Thundertron, perhaps. We will see. But stay tuned for that. And again, make a note of those dates, because it's going to be coming very soon this Thursday and the week afterwards on the other Thursday for Transformer Thursdays. So that's it, more or less. Talking about some fingerboards with the feet and talking about some arms. Talking about appendages here today with Transformers. But let me know what you think about all of this, and we'll talk again very soon here on the Transformer Slag podcast. And welcome the beginning of yet again another great Transformer week.